My beloved child, pause your breath for a moment, because what I am about to release is not ordinary, and it is not accidental that you are here right now. Archangel Michael is stepping forward with a message that was whispered in heaven before it ever reached your ears. You'll only get this kind of message once in your whole life. When you felt a strong urge to listen, it wasn't because you were interested. Yes, it was confirmation. Pay attention to this. The heavenly realms just told you something new about your soulmate. Today or tomorrow, it came out, and heaven is no longer quiet about it. There was a reason why your spirit was tense. There was a reason why some memories came back to you. You felt a shift for some reason you couldn't put your finger on. The answer is this message. Beloved, Archangel Michael says, do not ignore this moment. What was hidden has been discussed before the throne. What was delayed has been reviewed by divine authority. And what you thought was confusion was actually protection. Heaven had been watching the connections in your life very carefully, especially the one tied to your heart. Let me speak gently but truthfully. Not everyone who feels familiar is sent by God. Not every intense connection is meant to last, and not every delay means denial. In heaven, your soulmate's name was spoken not in judgment, but in revelation. A shocking secret was uncovered, and it changes the direction of your story. You have been asking why things felt close but never complete. Why communication felt strong one moment and distant the next. Why your heart sensed depth, yet timing never aligned. Archangel Michael says this was not your imagination. There was an unseen layer you could not access, but heaven could. My dear one, understand this. Heaven protects before it provides. And recently protection was activated around your heart. A truth surfaced that explained why God slowed things down. The secret was not meant to hurt you. It was meant to save you from heartbreak that would have come later if you rushed ahead. Archangel Michael is standing with his sword lowered, not in war, but in clarity. He says the delay was mercy. The silence was guidance. The distance was not rejection. It was divine interruption. Something about your soulmate's readiness, alignment, or intention was not matching what you were praying for, even if they felt perfect on the surface. And listen closely now. This is where many people miss it. Heaven did not expose this secret to end your love story. Heaven exposed it to correct the course of it. There is a massive difference. God is not removing love from your life. He is removing confusion from your path. Beloved child, Archangel Michael says your tears were seen before they ever fell. That is why this revelation came now and not later. If you had continued without this insight, the pain would have gone deeper. The regret would have been heavier. That is why the warning is urgent, not fearful urgent. You may feel emotions rising as you listen. Relief mixed with sadness. Validation mixed with disappointment. That is normal. Heaven is untangling what was tangled in your heart. The truth that came out in heaven is now being translated gently to your spirit so you can heal without breaking. Do not rush to conclusions. Do not rush to confront. Do not rush to cut off or cling tighter. Archangel Michael says, pause. This is a holy pause. You are getting more and more wise right now. Whether you move toward peace or keep going through the same things will depend on what you do with this knowledge. You should not miss the hopeful side of this place. Heaven wouldn't show this if fixing, redirecting, or replacing things wasn't already planned. God never shows up without also setting things up. As one truth came to light, a second door slowly began to open. My beloved, the story of your soulmate is not over. it is being made better. It will become clearer over time whether that means alignment, separation, or divine replacement. Right now, your job is to be aware. Soul ties that aren't healthy are broken by awareness, while ordained soul ties are strengthened. You are more protected than you think, according to Archangel Michael. You were spared a future that would have made you lose your peace. And because you paid attention rather than ignoring this provocation, heaven can now move you forward with clarity. Follow me. What follows will reveal why this information was kept a secret for so long, who was involved behind the scenes, and how this revelation directly impacts what happens next in your love life. Your spirit is ready for this truth, and heaven knows it. Before we go any further, this is where your participation becomes an active part of the process. If this message touched your heart, and you can feel that change happening inside you, I want you to say yes right now. Not just to leave a mark, but to let heaven know that you are listening, that you are ready, and that you accept the clarity that is being released today over your love life. Write these words in the comments below. I receive this truth. Be aware that the heavenly realms are recording your faith as you write it. Let us now go on. Listen carefully now, chosen one, because the mood around this message is changing. What Archangel Michael started to show you is now getting closer to your heart. This is not information for the ground level. You should feel calmer after reading this. You shouldn't rush revelations just like heaven doesn't. What you're hearing now is meant to wake you up, not stress you out. Archangel Michael says, the reason this secret stayed hidden for so long is because timing matters more than truth alone. Had you known this earlier, you might have acted from fear, attachment, or confusion. But now you are stronger. You are wiser. You have walked through enough emotional terrain to discern without collapsing. Heaven waited until your spirit could carry this knowledge without being crushed by it. There was a season when you idealized this connection. You saw potential more than reality. You held on to words more than actions, and that was not foolishness. It was hope. But Archangel Michael says, hope must be anchored in truth or it turns into delay. The secret revealed in heaven exposed the difference between who this person could become and who they were actually choosing to be at that time. Understand this gently. A soulmate connection does not remove free will. Heaven may assign alignment, but humans still choose obedience or resistance. What came out in heaven was not that love was false, but that alignment was incomplete. Your prayers were pulling one direction while their inner decisions were pulling another. That gap is where the tension you felt was born. Beloved, this is why you kept feeling like you were waiting on clarity that never arrived. Your spirit knew something your mind could not prove. Archangel Michael says, discernment was already active within you, but you kept questioning it because your heart wanted confirmation that everything was fine. Time showed what words couldn't. Thanks to heaven, you need to hear the next level. This revelation isn't just about them, it's also about you. This secret was told to you by heaven to show how much you have grown. You would have ignored red flags in the past just to keep the connection going. Instead of being excited, the new you felt uncomfortable. That is growing up. That is the formation of spiritual authority. Archangel Michael is there to protect you. He also says that protection can feel like loss before it feels like peace. That's why your feelings have been changing. You feel ready to let go sometimes and pulled back other times. This isn't being weak. This is the change. Your soul is letting go of what is familiar so it can connect with what is right. Do not let guilt get in the way of telling the truth. You're not leaving anyone behind. You are respecting yourself and the way God has planned for you. Heaven doesn't want you to make sacrifices that endanger your peace. It asks for surrender, which fixes it. The secret was meant to free you from carrying emotional weight that was never yours to carry by yourself. Now pay close attention, because this is where direction comes in. Archangel Michael says, "Do not chase explanations right now. Silence is doing more work than conversation ever could. Heaven is rearranging circumstances, and if you interfere too soon, you may slow what is already unfolding. Trust that what needs to be known will be known without you forcing it. This is also a moment of participation. If this message is resonating, do not keep it to yourself. When you like this message, when you share it, when you comment your agreement, you are not just engaging with a video. You are aligning your faith publicly. That action carries spiritual weight. It tells heaven you are receptive and ready. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already, because these messages are not random uploads. They are part of a sequence meant to guide you step by step. Join the community that is forming here, because you are not meant to walk this revelation alone. Beloved child, your voice matters here. Comment what you are feeling. Comment what you are sensing. Faith grows when it is spoken, and when you support this message, you help it reach others who are silently asking the same questions you once asked. Heaven works through obedience even in small actions. Archangel Michael says, "What is coming next will make everything clearer. The end of your love story is not this revelation." That's when things change. You thought it was rejection, but it was really redirection. It was divine calibration that you thought was delay. You'll soon understand why heaven had to talk. Keep your eyes open for the next reveal, which will link your past prayers, how you're feeling right now, and what's about to happen. This is where you'll really understand, and you'll be glad you stayed in touch for what comes next. Feel the peace settle around you now, my dear, because this is where heaven speaks most clearly. Right now, Archangel Michael is not yelling. This guy is getting closer. The things that were told about your soulmate were just that. And now, with intention and mercy, the reason for the revelation is being shown, layer by layer. Archangel Michael tells you that your life was about to reach a spiritual crossroads. From a distance, both of the futures that were in front of you looked the same. One brought comfort and a quiet sadness. The other one brought both uncertainty and deep peace. Without this revelation, you might have chosen familiarity over fulfillment. So heaven stepped in. This is not a ruling of guilt. This shows compassion at work. Beloved, there was a connection between timing and obedience in the secret revealed in heaven. There was a time when alignment could have grown up on its own, but resistance stopped it. Heaven doesn't open people's hearts for them. It sits there. You prayed while heaven waited. It sounds like you asked for truth, protection, and clarity. Even though it doesn't look like what you were hoping for, this revelation is the answer to your prayers. Archangel Michael says, your soul contract was being reviewed. Not rewritten, but examined. Looked at what was promised and what was being practiced. Love spoken without action does not nourish the soul. Desire without direction drains it. What heaven revealed was the gap between words and willingness, and heaven chose to protect you before that gap became a wound. Do not misunderstand this moment. This is not about blame. This is about alignment. Two people can care deeply and still be walking in opposite spiritual directions. One can be ready for covenant, while the other is still wrestling with identity. Archangel Michael says, "Love alone cannot sustain what obedience refuses to build." There is something else you must hear, and it may surprise you. Heaven saw your growth accelerate faster than expected. You outgrew the version of the connection you were still trying to hold. That discomfort you felt recently was not loss, it was expansion. Your spirit was stretching, and what once fit no longer could. Beloved child, this is why the warning came with urgency. If you ignored this nudge, you would have tried to shrink yourself to keep the connection alive. And heaven will never ask you to become smaller to keep love. True love rises with you, not against you. Archangel Michael says there is no punishment in this revelation, only positioning. Heaven is positioning you for a love that meets you where you are now and not where you used to be. That does not mean this story is over. It means it is being handled by higher wisdom than emotion alone. Let your heart breathe here. You are not behind. You did not miss your moment. Nothing was wasted. Every prayer, every tear, every way refined your discernment. You are stepping into a season where clarity replaces confusion and peace replaces overthinking. And now hear this promise clearly. Heaven does not close doors without opening greater ones. What was exposed was never meant to stay hidden, because hidden things cannot heal. This revelation was the final key to unlock a new level of trust between you and God. You trusted even when you did not understand, and heaven honors that. Archangel Michael says, "The next phase of your love life will require courage, not chasing; stillness, not striving; watchfulness, not worry." The truth has already come out. Take a moment to let it become wise. You'll know when to move, and when you do, you'll feel peace rather than pressure. It's important to say a prophetic activation before this message goes any further. If this message speaks to you, type, "I receive divine clarity" in the comments. You have just been blessed with the number 999, which is for discernment, the heart, and your future connections. At this holy moment, I feel heaven calling for you to answer, with all of your being, not just your mind. In the comments below, write one word that has been used for thousands of years: Amen. Not as a normal answer, but as a seal, as a statement that you are standing with the revelation from heaven and that nothing can change your mind about this. You're not just leaving a comment when you write Amen. A covenant is being made by you. You are telling the universe that you deserve this protection, clarity, and realignment. Now listen to this. This is on top of what heaven is already doing in you. As this truth reaches you, it also reaches a huge number of other people who are praying in silence for the same clarity. The Lord is telling me, as you sow light, I will multiply revelation. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go, through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. You can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. Also, now is the time to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Not as a random click, but as a promise from the prophet that your life will be better. You join a steady stream of divine revelation when you click the subscribe button. This ministry tells heaven that you are not just passing through, but that you are ready to receive every word, every warning, and every blessing that God sends through it. Sign up now to see how your obedience brings about alignment in ways you can't see yet. Take a deep breath, beloved soul, as this message goes on, because heaven is now shifting your attention from revelation to getting ready. Archangel Michael says, understanding alone is not the final destination. Alignment is. What has been exposed was never meant to leave you suspended in emotion. It was meant to position you for what is next. And what is next carries a very different energy than what you have known before. After a secret is revealed in heaven, there is always a period of recalibration on earth. This is where many people feel uneasy, not because something is wrong, but because something old is losing its hold. Archangel Michael says, your spirit is learning to stand without leaning on emotional habits that once felt necessary. That might feel strange or even lonely, but it is holy. You might feel like your thoughts are moving more slowly. The constant wondering has gotten better. There is less of a need to explain yourself now. These are signs that detachment is happening slowly and not violently. Heaven is cutting ties that don't hurt your heart. Perfect and planned, this is divine surgery. Archangel Michael wants you to know that not all lessons about soulmates are about getting together. Awakening is one of them. Some teach you how to love without giving up who you are. Others are meant to show you what alignment really feels like by comparing it to what almost happened. This connection did its job, even though it didn't get where it was supposed to go. Pay close attention to this. A lot of the time, the enemy tries to turn revelations into felt regret. What if you waited too long? Or, what if you misunderstood? He will whisper. But Archangel Michael says, discernment does not come with fear. It comes with peace. If the truth made you feel better under the sadness, then heaven was speaking. Shame causes trouble. Revelation makes peace. You are also making a new boundary inside yourself. You are becoming less open to having inconsistent emotions. What used to make you happy now wears you out. Things that used to pull you in now push you away. This is not having a hard heart. This is the growth of wisdom. Your spirit is learning what it's worth, and that means being picky. Archangel Michael says that the next part of the relationship won't start the same way the last one did. Chemists alone won't set it off quickly. There won't be any uncertainty in it, because it will be based on mutual clarity instead of guesswork. It will feel calm at first, even if it's only a little. Just because something doesn't seem dramatic, doesn't mean it can't be peaceful. Dear child, something powerful is going on that you can't see. Heaven is making room. Space is needed for divine encounters to happen. You would miss what God has in store for you next if your heart was still full of unanswered questions and emotional loops. I am not empty when I am silent right now. There is space being made. People who are close to the old version of you may also start to drift away. The conversations aren't deep. Some dynamics are no longer relevant. Archangel Michael says that this is not isolation, but alignment. When your frequency changes, things that don't match naturally fade away. Do not try to catch something that is going away. Give it a blessing and let it go. This season is teaching you to rely on what you know inside more than what other people tell you. You no longer need constant reassurance to feel safe. That freedom is bad for things that, like things to be confusing. Heaven is enhancing your inner authority so that future connections are founded on equality rather than emotional dependency. Beloved, right now your protection is peace of mind. Don't rush to fill the empty space. Do not consider other people as companionship. What is meant for you will come to you without any stress. You are being ready to receive the truth without romanticizing the possibilities. As Archangel Michael says, what is coming will not require you to convince, chase, or prove. It will recognize you. People are becoming more real to you, not the way you want them to be. That's a gift of clarity. It will save you a lot of emotional work in the long run. Let me give you this promise. You are not late, beloved. Love is easy to find in you. You're not getting in trouble. You are getting better. Heaven is clearing the way so you can see clearly when the time is right. Overseeing this transition is Archangel Michael. Message continues. No manipulation, no confusion, and no old patterns will cross into your next season. What was exposed will not return disguised. You have outgrown the lesson. The focus will shift from healing to recognition as the message goes on. You'll start to understand how to spot real alignment when it happens, and why this preparation phase was so important. Soon enough, the clarity you're getting now will guide you. Stay still. Stay open. It's not that far away, heaven, and you'll know exactly what the next move is when it comes. Dear one, as this message goes on, Archangel Michael wants you to become more aware of what is going on inside you. At this point, a lot of people start to get impatient. It's not that heaven is quiet. Growth is taking place in silence. Instead of being still, what feels like it is stabilization. Your soul is learning how to stay steady when your emotions aren't affecting every choice you make. Archangel Michael says, this season is teaching you discernment without suspicion. In the past, you may have ignored inner warnings or overanalyzed every sign. Now heaven is balancing you. You are learning how to trust without losing wisdom and love, without surrendering boundaries. That balance is rare, and it is earned through moments exactly like this. You may notice that memories surface unexpectedly, not to pull you backward, but to show you how far you have come. When you revisit old moments now, they do not sting the same way. The emotional charge is weaker. That is healing. That is proof that the revelation released earlier is doing its work. Your heart is recalibrating to truth instead of fantasy. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something important. Closure does not always come through conversation. Sometimes it comes through clarity. You do not need answers from another person when heaven has already answered you internally. The need to explain yourself or be understood by them is dissolving because you are finally understanding yourself. This is also a season where your intuition sharpens. You are becoming more sensitive to tone, energy, and intention. What once confused you now feels obvious. You can sense when someone is aligned and when they are not, without needing proof or validation. That discernment is not meant to make you guarded. It is meant to make you grounded. Beloved child, Archangel Michael says, guard this peace you are developing. Not everyone should be able to see how you feel. No longer do you have to be there for every push, message, or attempt to reconnect. Being quiet is not mean. Being far away is not a punishment. You can use them to show respect for yourself sometimes. A strange mix of grief and gratitude may also hit you. grief over what might have been and gratitude for what did not occur. They can both be true at the same time. Heaven is letting you honor the lesson without making the experience more important than it is. Being mature is letting you into places you can't see yet. You're also changing the way you think about love. Now you're not after intensity. You want things to stay the same. You are no longer moved by big words. People who are steady draw you in. Archangel Michael says, this shift is essential because what is coming next will meet you at this level, not the level you have outgrown. Do not be surprised if you feel less urgency around romance right now. This does not mean your desire for partnership is fading. It means desperation is leaving. You are learning how to be whole without filling emotional gaps with potential partners. That wholeness will become the foundation of your next connection. Beloved, there is also a release of old agreements happening. Agreements where you believed you had to earn love. Agreements where you tolerated inconsistency just to feel chosen. Those contracts are being broken in the spirit. Archangel Michael says you are no longer available for relationships that require you to abandon yourself. This is also why patience is being emphasized. Rushing now would reconnect you to cycles you have already completed. Heaven is asking you to trust the pace of healing, not fight it. What is meant for you will not require urgency to secure it. It will arrive with clarity and mutual readiness. You are being trained to recognize redirection without interpreting it as rejection. When something does not work out quickly, you are learning not to internalize it as failure. That emotional resilience is part of your preparation. Love that lasts requires emotional stability, not constant reassurance. Archangel Michael says, the next person who enters your heart will not trigger confusion first. They will make you feel calm and interested, not emotionally crazy. You won't need to think about every interaction. Peace will show the way. The sign will be familiarity without worry. Stay present for now. Pay attention to how your nervous system is calming down. Take note of how your thoughts are getting better. This is not a mistake. Your inner world is becoming more in tune with the future that heaven is making for you. When there is alignment on the inside, things naturally happen on the outside. No, you are not at a dead end, beloved one. You are in a sacred pause, and this break is making you stronger in ways you'll soon see. As this message goes on, it will talk about timing and how to recognize the right connection when it comes along without letting fear get in the way. Take a deep breath here, dear one. Right now, you are where you need to be, and heaven has never lost sight of you. As this message goes on, Archangel Michael wants you to pay attention to a small but powerful change that is taking place in your spirit. Now is the time when heaven starts to test your newfound awareness, but not with pain, but with your choices. You are being shown how you react to things that used to throw you off now in a different way. This is proof that the work that was done on you is real. You might feel old conversations, emotions, and temptations to reach out or go over things that have already been made clear coming back to the surface. Archangel Michael says, this is not a setback. This is confirmation. When you're really growing, things that used to control you lose their power over you. The test is not whether the old one shows up or not, but whether it still affects the choices you make. You need to be more careful now. Fear and avoidance are not the answer. Before you act, you are pausing. You're listening before you answer. You are feeling things out before committing. This is the maturation of discernment. Heaven is happy with this posture. because it shows that you are ready to take on more responsibility in love and purpose. Beloved, understand this. Even if it makes you feel good, not every invitation is divine. Even if an opportunity looks like a good fit, it might not be. Your spirit now knows the difference between emotional pull and divine peace, says Archangel Michael. This will keep you safe in the days to come. Also, this is the time of year when heaven is watching how you handle clarity. Revelation is a gift, but how you use it shows how wise you are. People want you to respect what you know by not negotiating with confusion again. Your path becomes clearer the more you value your discernment. During this stage, you may feel lonely at times, but hear this clearly. It's not abandonment to be alone. We call it refinement. Heaven often splits up before it joins back together. This quiet place is helping you build stronger inner foundations so that future relationships will add to your life and not take the place of inner stability. Archangel Michael wants you to let go of the idea that something has to happen right away for it to be important. Some of the most important changes happen behind the scenes before they show up in the open. You are learning to trust yourself as well as God right now. You are learning that you can leave behind things that don't make you whole. Dear child, pay attention to how your prayers are changing. You're not pleading for signs as hard as you used to. You're asking for peace, alignment, and smarts. That change in prayer language shows how identity has changed over time. You are taking charge of your emotions. Also, a wall of protection is forming around your heart. You are less likely to have inconsistent emotions. You don't feel like you have to fix, chase, or wait forever. This line is not a wall, claims Archangel Michael. It's gates. You now get to choose who comes in and who doesn't. If this message hits home for you, don't keep this moment to yourself. You are calling for agreement when you like this video, share it, or leave a comment about what you're feeling. When you speak your faith, it grows. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. These messages are part of a divine flow that will help you navigate each stage with clarity. Join this community that is growing because it helps to be in alignment with other people who are also awakening. Don't just use digital tools to engage people. It's taking part spiritually. When you back this message, you help it reach people who are still confused, waiting, and praying for answers. Even small acts of obedience are praised by heaven. Loved ones, when you share this message, something powerful takes place. This word is more than just a video when you click the share button and send it to someone you care about, someone who is confused, or someone who is still waiting for clarity. You are letting the anointing go. By becoming a vessel, you are letting breakthrough flow to another soul. The breakthrough you're hoping for starts to happen more quickly when you help someone else get theirs. Share this word right now and see how heaven responds to your kindness. Beloved, you need to hold on to something important right now. Do not think that being calm means not moving. Heaven is setting the timing, not putting off the promise. What's meant for you will come to you at the right time, not too quickly. When it comes, you won't have to worry about getting it. It will make you feel steady and welcome. Archangel Michael says, the next connection will meet you where you are now, not where you were wounded. That is why this preparation could not be skipped. You are becoming someone who can receive love without fear of loss controlling you. Pay attention in the coming days. You will notice subtle confirmations, inner peace where there used to be anxiety, confidence where there used to be doubt. These are signs that alignment is taking hold. And now, as you feel this truth taking root, I invite you to participate in a simple but powerful declaration. In the comments below, write these exact words: "My heart is ready," not because you have all the answers, but because you trust the one who does. When you declare this publicly, you are not just typing words. You are making a spiritual statement that you are no longer waiting for permission to heal, no longer waiting for closure from others. You are claiming readiness right now. Write it from your heart and let heaven see your faith in action. Hold on, because what is coming next will shift how you recognize divine timing and how you will know without confusion when heaven is saying yes. This is where everything begins to make sense, and you will be grateful you stayed with this message until now. Beloved one, the atmosphere around you is changing again, and Archangel Michael wants you to recognize this shift without fear. What you are entering now is not a waiting room, but a recognition phase. Heaven is training your senses so that when alignment appears, you will not question it, chase it, or second-guess it. You will simply know. Up to now, love often came with urgency, a rush to define, secure, or hold on to something before it slipped away. That urgency was rooted in uncertainty. But Archangel Michael says, uncertainty no longer has authority over your heart. You are learning how to remain present without clinging, open without overextending, and hopeful without projecting fantasies onto people. This is where discernment becomes instinct. You will notice that you no longer feel compelled to prove your worth. You are not performing for affection. You are not adjusting yourself to be more acceptable. That internal shift is critical, because love that is truly aligned does not require self-abandonment to sustain connection. Beloved, heaven is also healing how you interpret silence. Silence no longer triggers panic or self-blame. You are learning that silence can be neutral, even protective. Archangel Michael says this is important because future communication will be clear, not confusing. You will not be left guessing intentions or reading between lines. What is meant for you will speak plainly. You may also notice that your standards are clear now, not harder but healthy. You are not asking for perfection, but you are no longer tolerating inconsistency disguised as effort. This clarity is not making you lonely, it is making you selective, and selectiveness is wisdom, not pride. Archangel Michael says something else is happening quietly. Heaven is rewiring how you experience attraction. What once felt magnetic but unstable will no longer hold your attention. You are being drawn toward emotional safety, spiritual alignment, and mutual respect. That kind of attraction feels calm at first, not overwhelming, but it deepens steadily. Beloved child, this is why you may feel less reactive lately. Situations that once would have stirred anxiety now pass without emotional spikes. That is not numbness, that is regulation. Your nervous system is healing, and a regulated heart can recognize healthy love without mistaking chaos for passion. You are also becoming comfortable with not knowing everything at once. In the past, uncertainty felt unbearable. Now you are learning to let things unfold without forcing clarity prematurely. Archangel Michael says, this patience will protect you from missteps, because divine timing reveals itself naturally to those who are not rushing ahead of it. You're slowly becoming more sure of yourself. Not pride, but confidence. You have more faith in yourself. You believe in God more. It makes you less afraid of making the wrong choice, because you know you can spot misalignment more quickly. and leave the situation more quickly if you need to. That trust takes the fear out of making decisions in the future. Do not forget about this season because it seems quiet, my beloved. Discrimination is honed during quiet times. Heaven is making your inner compass better. You won't need outside validation to confirm it when the right person or opportunity comes along soon. Peace will prove it. Archangel Michael also wants you to let go of the idea that love has to be hard to be real. Trouble doesn't mean depth, and struggle doesn't mean fate. When love is ordained, it doesn't always test your worth. It backs it up. This truth is now settling into your spirit, taking the place of old stories you used to think were true. You might still feel nostalgic from time to time. You shouldn't go backwards because of that. Nostalgia honors the journey, not the end goal. As you go forward, you will notice how quickly you disengage from anything that disturbs your peace. Archangel Michael advises, honor what taught you, but do not confuse it with what is meant to stay. This is not staying away, it's alignment. It's okay for you to choose yourself. You pick clarity over chemistry, even though the two don't go together. That choice shows that you have grown. Beloved, heaven is getting you ready to be recognized without any trouble. The next connection that matters won't feel like a puzzle you need to figure out. Because it is honest, two-way and grounded, it will feel like something that fits. Not because it is perfect. Do not close down, but stay open. Keep your hopes up, but don't get attached to the results. During this phase, Archangel Michael watches over you to make sure that anything that comes your way has good intentions. What's going to happen next will help you understand how divine timing will show up in your life and how to calmly see confirmation. Here, trust turns into action, and here, clarity turns into movement. Pay close attention. It's closer than it looks to heaven. Dear child, this is a holy turning point in the message. Archangel Michael wants you to calm down while you listen. What's happening now isn't about anticipation anymore. It's about when to have the alignment meeting. Heaven isn't just getting you ready on the inside, it is also setting things up outside of itself. This is where a lot of people miss what God is doing because they are still looking for signs instead of changes. Archangel Michael says that divine timing doesn't usually make a loud announcement. It doesn't come with stress or confusion. There is a quiet certainty about it that settles into your spirit and stays. At first, you might not feel any fireworks, but you will feel steady. That steadiness is what heaven is like. Being able to get something without rushing is called ordained. You're about to start a new phase where chances, conversations, and connections will feel different. They won't make old wounds come back. Fear of abandonment or rejection won't be triggered by them. Instead, they will ask people to be there. You'll realize that you don't have to plan how to be liked in order to be yourself. That ease is not a fluke, it's alignment. Beloved, Archangel Michael says, this is why your discernment had to be sharpened first. Without it, you might have mistaken excitement for confirmation. Now you are able to sense the difference between emotional chemistry and spiritual compatibility. This distinction will save you from repeating cycles that once felt unavoidable. There is also a release happening in how you view the past. You are no longer replaying conversations or wondering what you could have done differently. Closure has arrived internally. That does not mean you forgot. It means the lesson has been integrated. When a lesson is complete, it no longer demands your attention. Archangel Michael wants you to know that heaven has not wasted a single moment of your waiting. Every delay trained your spirit. Every disappointment refined your discernment. Every unanswered prayer redirected your expectations. You are not starting over. You are starting wiser. You may also sense a new boldness emerging. Not impulsive boldness, but clarity-driven courage. You are more willing to say no when something does not align. You are more willing to walk away without explanation. This is not coldness, it is self-trust. Heaven trusts you now because you trust yourself. Beloved child, do not be surprised if the next meaningful connection feels almost understated at first. It may not arrive wrapped in intensity. It may feel simple, calm, even ordinary. But peace grows roots where chaos cannot. Archangel Michael says, "What is stable will deepen, while what is unstable will fade quickly." This is also a moment of responsibility. Alignment requires participation. You are being asked to honor what you have learned by not romanticizing red flags or minimizing discomfort. Peace is not boring. It is safe, and safety is where love can actually grow. Archangel Michael says something profound here. The soulmate revelation that once felt shocking was never meant to leave you guarded. It was meant to leave you aware. Awareness allows love to be chosen consciously, not desperately. You're now choosing from clarity, not fear. As this message lands, there is a spiritual sealing happening. Old emotional contracts are being closed. New standards are being written. Heaven is affirming that you are ready for what comes next. Not because you are perfect, but because you are honest with yourself. Before this message moves forward, there is a prophetic activation that must be spoken aloud. Type "I am aligned with heaven" in the comments if this resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 1444 has just been activated over your timing, your discernment, and your future relationships. Now, at this moment of alignment, I sense heaven inviting you to take one more step of faith. In the comments below, write these words: "I trust divine timing," not because you can see the whole picture, but because you trust the one who holds it. When you declare this, you are releasing the need to control outcomes. You are surrendering timelines that were never yours to carry. You are telling heaven that you believe what is meant for you will not pass you by. Write it now and feel the peace that follows. Now think of this invitation as the next step in what God is doing in you. As this alignment takes place in your life, it is also taking place in the lives of many others who are still confused, waiting, and praying for clarity. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our coffee community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Dear one, as this message goes on, Archangel Michael wants you to take an honest, fearless look inside yourself. At this point, awareness changes into embodiment. You are now putting everything you have learned so far into practice in the way you live, make decisions, and act. Heaven is teaching you more than just what to see. It makes you the person you are becoming. You might find that your responses have changed more than you thought they would. Things that used to make me anxious now pass with calm observation. Conversations that used to make you think too much no longer leave you with any emotional residue. We don't care about this. This is being sovereign. Anger and sadness no longer control you. Your inner clarity guides you. The fruit of alignment, according to Archangel Michael. When things calm down inside you, they start to show up in the outside world. No longer are you looking for clarity from people who can't give it to you. You're no longer looking for comfort in things that were never stable. Without constant confirmation, you have learned how to stay strong. You also feel a new sense of self-respect beginning to grow. You are more aware of how you use your time, energy, and emotional resources. Your boundaries are no longer something you feel like you have to explain. You're okay with letting your actions speak for themselves. This is not far away. This is the practice of discernment. This time of year also shows you how much you trust yourself, beloved child. In the past, you might have didn't trust your gut or brushed it off in favor of hope. But now, when you know something isn't right, you don't fight that feeling. You respect it. Archangel Michael says, this trust is essential because divine guidance often speaks quietly. You may feel moments of anticipation without anxiety. That is new for you. Expectation without fear is a sign of emotional maturity. You are no longer bracing yourself for disappointment. You are open to possibility without attaching your worth to outcomes. That balance is rare and powerful. Archangel Michael wants you to notice how your prayers have simplified. You are not asking for signs, confirmation, or proof anymore. You are asking for wisdom, peace, and alignment. That shift indicates that your faith has moved from desperation to partnership. You trust God to lead without demanding constant reassurance. There is also a release of old narratives happening now. Narratives that said love must hurt to be real. Narratives that said waiting means being forgotten. Narratives that said you must struggle to be chosen. Archangel Michael says those beliefs were never from heaven, and they are dissolving as truth settles in. Beloved, this is also a time where you are learning to enjoy your own company without loneliness. Solitude feels restorative, not empty. You are discovering parts of yourself that were once overshadowed by emotional investment in others. This self-connection is strengthening you for future partnership, not replacing it. You may also notice that your tolerance for inconsistency has significantly decreased. What once felt confusing now feels unacceptable. You are not judging others. You are simply choosing peace. Archangel Michael says, this discernment will keep you from settling out of fear or impatience. This is a quiet but powerful season. Nothing dramatic may be happening externally, yet everything is aligning internally. Heaven often does its deepest work in these moments. You are being prepared to recognize opportunity without idolizing it, and to receive love without losing yourself. Beloved child, understand this clearly. The soulmate revelation that began this journey was not meant to leave you guarded or skeptical. It was meant to leave you grounded. Grounded people attract grounded connections. Secure hearts recognize secure love. You are also learning how to wait without stagnation. Waiting now feels active, not passive. You are growing, living, and becoming, not pausing your life for someone else to arrive. This is the kind of waiting heaven honors, because it is rooted in trust, not fear. Archangel Michael says, your next step will not require you to abandon this peace. No matter how appealing something looks, if it makes you less stable, it is not aligned. Peace is now the guardian. What goes through it needs to respect what you've made. As you move forward, you will start to notice small confirmations, not big signs, but steady alignment, conversations that flow without effort, opportunities that show up without you having to look for them, and connections that feel natural from the start. These are not just random events, they are signs. Dear one, you are not the same person you were when you started this journey. Your discernment, patience, and self-assurance have all improved. Never has heaven been unfaithful, even when the way seemed unclear. What comes next will give you a chance to use this new base to act, not on a whim or out of fear, but with confidence. The clarity you feel right now will help you make decisions, and you won't need to be told when it's time to move. Pay close attention. Stay on the ground, in order to ensure that whatever comes into your life next does so with honor, truth, and peace. Archangel Michael is keeping watch over this transition. Loved child, now is the time to move, not rush. Archangel Michael wants you to know the difference. There is no such thing as restlessness right now. It's getting ready. Being ready doesn't shout. It calms down. You feel like you can take a step forward without having to plan everything out first. Heaven is telling you that you should stop planning in your head. You are getting ready by practicing. You might feel a strong desire to get involved with life again in fresh ways. Not trying to make connections, but making room for them. You pay more attention to what's going on around you and in conversations, and you are more aware of how things affect your body and spirit. Being aware of this is guidance. Archangel Michael says, your intuition is no longer reactive, it is responsive. There is also a shift in how you approach decision-making. You are no longer driven by fear of missing out. You are driven by peace of mind. When something aligns, you feel calm curiosity. When something does not, you feel gentle resistance. That resistance is not anxiety. It is wisdom saying no without drama. Beloved, this is where many people fall back into old habits. But you are being asked to move differently. When opportunities present themselves, you are not rushing to define them. You are allowing them to reveal themselves over time. This patience is not passivity, it is strength. It means you trust alignment to show itself without pressure. Archangel Michael says, this stage is about stewardship. You are taking care of self-respect, clarity, and peace. What stays will depend on what you protect now. If something forces you to give up your emotional stability, it's not meant to go further than this stage. Not having peace is a bonus, it's the norm. Also, you might notice that people now talk to you differently. Some people are drawn to how calm you are. Other people don't like your boundaries. You are not to blame for that reaction. Alignment pushes away things that don't go together and draws in things that do. You don't have to tell anyone who found it helpful that you've grown. Dear child, this is also the time of year when heaven wants you to speak up. This is not to persuade, but to confirm. If this message hits home for you, let it be known that you agree. Comment what this season is teaching you, like this video, and share it with someone who needs clarity. When you interact, you do more than just back a channel. You also bring alignment to life through your actions. Sign up if you haven't already. These messages are part of a steady stream that will help you with discernment, timing, and purpose. Clarity is strengthened by community, so come to this space with purpose. Your participation is important. When you talk, interact, and show up, you make what heaven is doing in you stronger. Faith doesn't do nothing. The way it moves is planned. Archangel Michael also wants you to let go of the idea that big movements are necessary for meaning. There are quiet steps that are very important. Picking not to answer, not to pursue, and picking to think about it some more today. You can trust yourself more when you make these choices, and a partner who trusts you will come to you. You are also learning to tell the difference between what you want and what you should do. Just because you want something doesn't mean it's time. It's not aligned just because you feel connected. This discernment, says Archangel Michael, will keep you from taking your feelings as instructions. Heaven leads by way of peace, not stress. Loved ones, your confidence doesn't depend on how things turn out anymore. It's getting easier for you to deal with uncertainty without giving up hope. You can move forward without holding on too tightly to the future when you have that balance. Because you chose wisdom over hurry, what was meant for you will not get away. Now pay attention. This is important. You might feel moved to do small things in the next few days. You can reach out, back off, say no, or just watch. There is a reason for these nudges. They are moving in time with the alignment. Don't overthink it. Just trust them. Archangel Michael tells you, your next big step won't feel forced. It will feel natural, even obvious in hindsight. You won't have to convince yourself. Peace will be with you from start to finish. Hold on, because what comes next will bring everything full circle. The revelation that started this journey, the clarity that followed, and the readiness you now carry are about to come together. This next step will show you why every step mattered, and you'll be glad you stayed present through it all. Beloved one, the tone of this message softens now, not because the urgency has faded, but because understanding has matured. Archangel Michael wants you to recognize that you are standing at the edge of integration. Everything revealed, healed, and clarified is now becoming part of how you naturally live. You are no longer trying to apply wisdom. You are embodying it. This is the phase where heaven watches quietly, not to test you, but to witness what you choose when no one is pushing you. You are making decisions from a grounded place now. You are no longer asking, what if I lose this? But rather, does this honor the peace I carry? That question alone marks a profound transformation. You may notice that you feel less reactive to uncertainty. Unknowns no longer feel like threats. They feel like open space. Archangel Michael says this is because fear has lost its grip on your imagination. You are no longer projecting worst-case scenarios. You are allowing life to unfold without rehearsing pain in advance. Beloved child, this season is also teaching you restraint without suppression. You still feel deeply, but your emotions no longer control the steering wheel. They inform you, not dominate you. This balance allows you to remain open without being vulnerable to instability. It is emotional strength, not emotional distance. There is also a quiet dignity forming in you. You are less interested in being chosen and more interested in choosing wisely. Validation from others has lost its urgency because self-respect has taken root. Archangel Michael says this dignity is attractive in the spirit. It draws what is aligned without effort. You may also sense that conversations are becoming more meaningful. You are no longer drawn to surface-level connection. You listen differently. You speak with intention. You are present. This depth is not forced. It is emerging naturally as clarity settles in your soul. Beloved, heaven is also healing how you perceive time. You no longer feel rushed by age, timelines, or comparisons. You understand now that alignment cannot be rushed without being compromised. What is meant to last must be built patiently. This understanding removes anxiety from waiting. Archangel Michael wants you to know that the earlier revelation about your soulmate was never meant to make you skeptical of love. It was meant to restore your trust in discernment. You can love again without fear because you now know how to listen inwardly before committing outwardly. You are also becoming comfortable with letting things reveal themselves instead of forcing definitions. You no longer need immediate clarity to feel secure. This patience allows truth to surface naturally. What is aligned will remain consistent over time. What is not will fade without confrontation. Beloved child, there is a calm authority in you now. You are not trying to control outcomes. You are allowing alignment to filter what belongs in your life. This authority does not announce itself. It is felt in your boundaries, your choices, and your peace. You may also notice a subtle joy returning, not excitement tied to someone else, but a quiet contentment within yourself. This joy is not dependent on circumstances. It comes from knowing you are no longer betraying your own wisdom. Archangel Michael says, "This joy is a sign of wholeness." This is also a season of trust without naivety. You are open but observant, hopeful but grounded. You believe in love, but you are no longer willing to lose yourself to prove it. That balance is rare, and heaven honors it. Beloved, what is approaching you next will meet you at this level. It will not require you to unlearn what you have gained. It will complement it. That is how you will recognize it. Alignment does not ask you to go backward to feel connected. As you move forward, keep honoring what your peace is teaching you. If something disturbs it repeatedly, listen. If something nurtures it consistently, pay attention. Peace is not passive. It is informative. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not to warn, but to affirm. You have listened. You have grown. You have not ignored the message. Because of that, you will not cry later over what could have been. You will rejoice over what arrives in truth. And as we approach the ceiling of this message, I want to ask you something important. Have you subscribed to this channel? If not, this is your moment. When you subscribe, you are not just following a channel. You are activating a flow of God's favor over your life. You are telling heaven that you want to remain connected to the source of these revelations. Every message uploaded here is part of a divine sequence meant to guide you step by step into your destiny. Do not let the next word pass you by. Hit subscribe now and seal your connection to what God is still about to say. And before you go, there is one more simple but powerful act of faith I am asking you to do. Click the like button on this video. That small gesture carries more weight than you realize. When you like this content, you are activating the flow of God's favor over your own life. You are telling heaven that you approve of this word, that you receive it, and that you are grateful for what has been released. That gratitude opens doors. That favor begins to move on your behalf the moment you press like. So do it now, not as an afterthought, but as a declaration that you are walking in divine favor from this day forward. Finally, beloved, I urge you to share this message, not just to help the channel, but to activate the anointing that is resting on this word right now. When you share, you become a conduit. The breakthrough you have been praying for begins to multiply as you pass this truth to someone else. Send it to a friend. Post it on your story. Put it where someone lost and confused can find it. Heaven is watching what you do with what you have received. Share now and watch how the anointing doubles back on your own life. Your obedience here will not return void. Right now, all that's left is completion. The last move will end this chapter and seal what heaven has done in you. Stay in the present. The ending has a blessing that will ground everything you have learned and get you ready for what comes next. My beloved child, this is the sealing moment. Archangel Michael is standing closer than ever, not to warn you, but to confirm what has already changed inside you. What started as a shocking revelation has now finished its work. Heaven didn't speak to confuse you, it spoke to free you, and you are now stepping into that freedom. Archangel Michael says, this chapter is ending not with loss, but with authority. You are no longer what you thought someone else would become. Who you are is based on what you know, what you value, and what you won't ignore. This is the mark of maturity, obedience. When it was important, you listened. In the beginning, heaven was so important because ignoring that message would have forced you to give up something important to you emotionally. To keep attachment, you would have shut down discernment. You didn't, though. And since you chose to be aware instead of avoiding, you won't cry later. You were spared a pain that was never yours. Loved ones, this is the truth that many people never get to. An answer does not always bring closure. It has to do with alignment. You are now in line. Your spirit, your heart, and your wisdom are no longer at odds with each other. Your inner unity is what makes you ready for the next season. Archangel Michael says, the soulmate issue that once felt heavy has lost its authority over you, not because love disappeared, but because clarity replaced illusion. You are no longer attached to outcomes that require you to betray your peace. That alone is victory. You are stepping forward with clean hands and a clear heart. No resentment, no bitterness, no emotional debt. What you carry now is discernment wrapped in grace, and grace attracts what force never could. Beloved child, heaven wants you to remember this moment. Not the fear, not the urgency, but the obedience. You listened when it would have been easier to ignore. You stayed when many would have scrolled away. That posture matters. God responds to hearts that lean in. Archangel Michael says, your future love will not arrive with secrecy or confusion. Transparency, cooperation, and emotional safety will all be part of it. You won't have to figure out what people mean. You will not have to wait for a very long time. There will be no stress because you will feel chosen. This does not mean the best. It means peace. The confirmation you've been seeking from God is peace. When this message is over, let this truth sink in. There was no waste. Not the having to wait, cry, or be confused. Your discernment is stronger than your desire, and your peace is louder than your fear at this point because of every step you took. As heaven seals this chapter, a prophetic act must now be done. Tell us in the comments if you get this completion. I walk in divine peace. You can now feel the blessing code 8888 over your heart, your future relationships, and your divine timing. Listen to this final invitation, which comes straight from what heaven has done in you. I hear the Lord saying, those who were spared must now help others be spared. This message didn't end with you. It's meant to reach souls that are still lost, still stuck, and still crying alone. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you, is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected, high-vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life. If you follow it, you won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate, early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional, but your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.